Hey, we got the live thing going. Thank you so much. I'm gonna cut this one off and go to this one. We're streaming here, as far as I could tell. Hey, Wale. So yeah, I'm in finally. And what I want to do is read this, get some idea about this book, the Master Key by Haneel. Them. I wonder if I could put it up on the screen. I don't know how to do a lot of things with this. So, I think I'm gonna have to just go ahead and let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it off a different location. I have the master key on my what you call it on my computer, but I'm not sure how to make this happen, make that happen, that kind of thing. So, and I just busted my mouse trying to get started because I didn't want to be late and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I busted my mouse open and it's not working, so I'm using my finger. The thing is, though, the master key system, both of them are about mind control, controlling the mind yourself, so you can do what you want to do. Both of them explain also that. I hope I'm heard. Both of them explain also that the mind is such that you can go. We're usually in our minds attempting to deal with what's occurring, what has occurred, and all that kind of attitude. And the master key system sets it up so that you can get a different angle, which is this: we are not really in a situation where we have to wait on things to happen. We're in a situation where we can cause things to happen. Yes? So that's what we're dealing with, causing things to happen. Anyway, so I'll look it up and we'll talk about a bit of that. Uh, let's start with deLaurence. That was the first book I read. Okay, here we go. This is the first book I had read was the deLaurence piece. Oh, here's a good copy. Yeah. And like I say, both of them are classes. It apparent from the 19th century, 1900. These guys apparently went to Haneel and deLaurence. Apparently, they both went to India, and a lot of this is their Indian stuff, what they learned in the Indian school, and they refer to it as the master key. I see other people have also written copies of it. Now, me, uh, I'm not really interested in going through too many different. Okay, too many different. I already got it. Yeah, here it is. Already have it. Mm-hmm. 400 pages, 433 pages. It says. So let's see. I don't see it. Oh, here it is. We'll read just a bit of it. What it is mind control. So now what we're talking about is how to. I read the preface. Because what we're talking about is how to control the mind. You know, Uh, this is not working as I thought it would. Okay, here we go. So the table of contents read like this. Oh, found the preface. That's what I was looking for. The preface. The preface. Trying to read it from my phone. Yeah, thought control, concentration, and thought control. The master key is involved in that. I just read it off of the major piece. Okay. I have no idea what I'm doing, so I would ask for, a little patience here. Let's see. Okay. Week 2, the master key. So I'm looking at Hanel's version. If you have different versions, please look them up. But they're on Google. I have Hanel and let's see what he says as far as an introduction to the master key. For the table of contents read, an introduction to the master key system. That's what I'll go through. It's only a few pages. I'm not read all of it anyway. The basics of your mind, realizing your mental resources. Chapter 4, reversing the process from cause to effect. And that's what I was saying about the mind. What we're doing, we're normally used to taking the effect and treat it as though it's a cause, and then we do something as an effect. But actually, what we do is the cause, and what occurs is the effect. The chapter 5 is the creative mind. Chapter 6, the brain of man. Chapter 7, utilizing the omnipotent power. Number 8, thought and its results. Number 9, affirmations and your mind. Number 10, a certain definite cause, and so forth. But let's see what he has to say, because it's a whole different kind of angle on thinking that we're doing here in the master key. It is my privilege to enclose here within the 1 week of the master key. Would you bring into your life more power? Get the power, consciousness. You want more health? Get the health, consciousness. If you want more happiness, get the happiness, consciousness. Live the spirit of these things until they become yours by right. It will then become impossible Mhm. Right. It would then become impossible for you not to get them. It would be impossible to keep them from you. The things of the world are fluid to a power within man by which he rules them. I'm going to read that again. The things of the world are fluid to a power within man by which he rules them. This is a different angle. Now we're not looking at the world affecting us, we're looking at us affecting the world. And that's why I'm reading this, because I know a lot of us are tuned in to the world is affecting us. That's how we live, that's how we think, that's how we consider reality. The world is affecting us. However, the things in the world are fluid to the power within us by which we can rule them. And that's what this is about. Flipping that page, flipping that whole thing over. What is called revolution, that's a revolution of the mind. You need not acquire this power, you already have it. But you want to understand it, you want to use it, you want to control it, you want to impregnate yourself with it so that you can go forward and carry the world before you. Day by day, as you go on and on, as you gain momentum, as your inspiration deepens, as your plans crystallize, as you gain understanding, you will come to realize that this world is not dead pile of stones and timber, but that it is a living thing. I'm reading directly from his first, this is Haneel's book. Day by day, as you go on and on, as you gain momentum, as your inspiration deepens, as your plans crystallize, as you gain understanding, you will come to realize that this world is no dead pile of stones and timber, but that it is a living thing. It is made up of the beating hearts of humanity. It is a thing of life and beauty. It is evident that it requires understanding to work with material of this description. But those who come into this understanding are inspired by a new life, a new force. They gain confidence and greater power each day. They realize their hopes and their dreams come true. Life has a deeper, fuller, clearer meaning than before. Number one, that much gathers more is true on every plane of existence. That loss leads to greater loss is equally true. I'll read it again because I want to take that in myself. That much gathers more is true on every plane of existence, and that loss leads to greater loss is equally true. Mind is creative, conditions, environment, and all experiences in life are the result of how our habitual or predominant mental attitude. Yes? Number two, I'm going to read it again. Mind is creative. Conditions, environment, and all experience in life are the result of our habitual or predominant mental attitude. Number three, the attitude of mind necessarily depends upon what we think. Therefore, the secret of all power, all achievement, and all possession depends upon our method of thinking. This is true because we must be before we can do, and we must do only to the extent which we are. And what we are depends and what we are depends what's that say? And what we are depends upon what we think. Okay, number four. This is true because we must be before we can do, and we can do only to the extent which we are. And what we are depends upon what we think. Number five, we cannot express powers that we do not possess. The only way by which we may secure possession of power is to become conscious of power. We can never become conscious of power until we learn that all power is from within. Okay, again, number five, we cannot express powers that we do not possess. The only way by which we may secure possession of power is to become conscious of power. We can never become conscious of power until we learn that all power is from within. Number six, there is a world within, a world of thought and feeling and power, of light and life and beauty. And although invisible, its forces are mighty. Number seven, the world within is governed by mind. When we discover this world, we shall find the solution for every problem, the cause for every effect. Since the world within is subject to our control, all laws of power and possession are also within our control. Right? Now, I know I'm reading this a little slow because, hey, this is my first time going like this. Oh, no, I did one before, didn't I? Okay. The world within is governed by mind. When we discover this world, we shall find the solution for every problem, the cause for every effect. Since the world within is subject to our control, all laws of power and possession are also within our control. Again, number seven, the world within is governed by mind. When we discover this world, we shall find the solution for every problem, the cause for every effect. Since the world within is subject to our control, all laws of power and possession are also within our control. Right? Little more. Number eight, the world without is a reflection of the world within. What appears without is what has been found within. In the world within may be found infinite wisdom, infinite power, infinite supply of all that is necessary, waiting for unfoldment. Development and expression. If we recognize these potentialities in the world within, they will take form in the world without. I'll read that again. Like I said, this was written in 1912. And so the wording is a little different. We might have to read it twice, three times to get a fullness. The world without is a reflection of the world within. What happens without is what has been found within. In the world within may be found infinite wisdom, infinite power, infinite supply of all that is necessary. Waiting for unfoldment, development, and expression. If we recognize these potentialities in the world within, they will take form in the world without. Number 9, harmony in the world within will be reflected in the world without by harmonious conditions, agreeable surroundings, the best of everything. It is the foundation of health and a necessary essential of all greatness, all power, all attainment, all achievement, and all success. Number 10, harmony. In the world within means the ability to control our thoughts and to determine for ourselves how any experience is to affect us. Number 11, harmony in the world within results in optimism and affluence. Affluence within results in affluence without. Number 12, the world without reflects the circumstances and the conditions of the consciousness within. If we find number 13, if we find wisdom in the world within, we shall have the understanding to discern the marvelous possibilities that are latent in this world within, and we shall be given the power to make these possibilities manifest in the world without. As we become conscious of the wisdom in the world within, we mentally take possession of this wisdom. And by taking mental possession, we come into actual possession of the power and wisdom necessary to bring into manifestation the essentials necessary for our most complete and harmonious development. Number 15, the world within is the practical world in which the men and women of power generate the courage, hope, enthusiasm, confidence, trust, and faith by which they are given the fine intelligence to see the vision and the practical skill to make the vision real. Number 16, life is an unfoldment, not an accretion. Accretion, not an accretion. What comes to us in the world without is what we already possess in the world within. Life is an unfoldment, not an accretion. What comes to us in the world without is what we already possess in the world within. Number 17, all possession is based on consciousness. All gain is the result of an accumulative consciousness. All loss is the result of a scattering consciousness. 17 again. All possession is based on consciousness. All gain is a result of an accumulative consciousness. All loss is the result of a scattering consciousness. Number 18, mental efficiency is contingent upon harmony. Discord means confusion. Therefore, he who would acquire power must be in harmony with natural law. 19, we are related to the world without by the objective mind. The brain is the organ of this mind, and the cerebrospinal system of nerves puts us in conscious communication with every part of the body. This system of nerves responds to every sensation of light, heat, odor, sound, and taste. Again, we are related to the world without by the objective mind. The brain is the organ of this mind, and the cerebrospinal system of nerves puts us in conscious communication with every part of the body. This system of nerves responds to every sensation of light, heat, odor, sound, and taste. Number 20, I think it's only 24, we're only 20. When this mind thinks correctly, when it understands the truth, when the thoughts sent through the cerebrospinal nervous system to the body are constructive, these sensations are pleasant, harmonious. Number 21, the result is that we build strength, vitality, and all constructive forces into our body. But it is through this same objective mind that all distress, sickness, lack, limitation, and every form of discord and inharmony are admitted to our lives. It is therefore through the objective mind, by wrong thinking, that we are related to all destructive forces. I read that again. The result is that we build strength, vitality, and all constructive forces into our body. But it is through the same objective mind that all distress, sickness, lack, limitation, and every form of discord and inharmony are admitted to our lives. It is therefore through the objective mind, by wrong thinking, that we are related to all destructive forces. Number 22, we are related to the world within by the subconscious mind. The solar plexus is the organ of the mind. The sympathetic system of nerves presides over all subjective sensations such as joy, fear, love, emotion, respiration, imagination, and all other subconscious phenomena. It is through the subconscious that we are connected with the universal mind and brought into relation with the infinite constructive forces of the universe. One more time, 22, because we're only going to 24. We are related to the world within by the subconscious mind. The solar plexus is the organ of this mind. This the world within. The sympathetic system of nerves presides over all subjective sensations such as joy, fear, love, emotion, and respiration, imagination, and all other subconscious phenomena. It is through the subconscious that we are connected with the universal mind and brought into relation with the infinite constructive forces of the universe. Number 23, beautiful. It is the coordination of these two centers of our being and the understanding of their functions, which is the great secret of life. With this knowledge, we can bring the objective and subjective minds into conscious cooperation and thus coordinate the finite and the infinite. Our future is entirely within our own control. It is not at the mercy of any capricious or uncertain external power. I read that again because that's the point of the whole system, the master key. It is the coordination of these two centers of our being and the understanding of their functions, which is the great secret of life. With this knowledge, we can bring the objective and the subjective minds into conscious cooperation, thus coordinate the finite and the infinite. Our future is entirely within our own control. It is not at the mercy of any capricious or uncertain external power. We have to inculcate that. Number 24. All agree that there is but one principle or consciousness pervading the entire universe, occupying all space and being essentially the same in kind at every point of its presence. It is all powerful, all wisdom, and always present. All thoughts and things are within itself. It is all in all. Oh, wait a minute. It's like 40 or 50. Oh, it's 45 of this. I'm just on 24. But it seems to read good. It's interesting. It leads one forward. Let's see what 25 says. There is but one consciousness in the universe able to think. And when it thinks, its thoughts become objective things to it. As this consciousness is omnipresent, it must be present within every individual. Each individual must be a manifestation of that omnipotent, omnificent, and omnipresent consciousness. As there is only one consciousness in the universe that is able to think, it necessarily follows that your consciousness is identical with the universal consciousness. Or, in other words, all mind is one mind. There is no dodging this conclusion. Of course, that's his conclusion. Number 27, the consciousness that focuses in your brain cells is the same consciousness that focuses in the brain cells of every other individual. Each individual is but the individualization of the universal, the cosmic mind. 27. 28. The universal mind is static or potential energy. It simply is. It can manifest only through the individual, and the individual can manifest only through the universal. They are one. The ability of the individual to think is his ability to act on the universal and bring it into manifestation. Human consciousness consists only in the ability of man to think. Walker says, mind in itself is believed to be a subtle form of static energy from which arises the activities called thought. which is the dynamic phase of mind. Mind is static energy, thought is dynamic energy, the two phases of the same thing. Thought is therefore the vibratory force formed by converting static mind into dynamic mind. Number 30, as the sum of all attributes is contained in the universal mind, which is omnipotent, omnificent, and omnipresent, these attributes must be present at all times in their potential form in every individual. Therefore, when the individual thinks, the thought is compelled by its nature to embody itself and in an objectivity or condition which will correspond with its origin. Getting deep. Number 31, every thought, therefore, is a cause, and every condition an effect. For this reason, it is absolutely essential that you control your thoughts so as to bring forth only desirable conditions. 32, all power is from within and is absolutely under your control. It comes through exact knowledge and by the voluntary exercises of exact principles. 33. It should be plain that when you acquire a thorough understanding of this law and are able to control your thought processes, you can apply it to any condition. In other words, you will have come into conscious cooperation with omnipotent law, which is the fundamental basis of all things. 34. The universal mind is the life principle of every atom which is in existence. Every atom is continually striving to manifest more life. All are intelligent and all are seeking to carry out the purpose for which they were created. 35. A majority of mankind lives in the world without. Few have found the world within, and yet it is the world within that makes the world without. It is therefore creative, and everything which you find in your world without has been created by you in the world within. 36. The system will bring you into a realization. This system will bring you into a realization of power, which will be yours when you understand this relationship between the world without and the world within. The world within is the cause, the world without, the effect. To change the effect, you must change the cause. 37. You will at once see that this is a radically new and different idea. Most men try to change effects by working with effects. They fail to see that this is simply changing one form of distress for another. To remove discord, we must remove the cause, and this cause can be found only in the world within. 38. All growth is from within. This is evident in all nature. Every plant, every animal, every human is a living testimony to this great law. The era of the ages is in looking for strength or power from without. 39. The world within is the universal fountain of supply. The world without is the outlet to the stream. Our ability to receive depends upon our recognition of this universal fountain, this infinite energy of which each individual is an outlet, and so is one with every other individual. 40. Recognition is a mental process. Mental action is therefore the interaction of the individual upon the universal mind. And as the universal mind is the intelligence which pervades all space and animates all living things, this mental action and reaction is the law of causation. But the principle of causation does not obtain in the individual, but in the universal mind. It is not an objective faculty. It is not an objective faculty, but a subjective process, and the results are seen in an infinite variety of conditions and experiences. In order to express, 41, in order to express life, there must be mind. Nothing can exist without mind. Everything which exists is some manifestation of this one basic substance from which and by which all things have been created and are continually being recreated. 42. We live in a fathomless sea of plastic mind substance. This substance is ever alive and active. It is sensitive to the highest degree. It takes form according to the mental demand. Thought forms the mold or matrix from which the substance expresses. 43. Remember that it is in the application alone that the value consists, and that a practical understanding of this law will substitute abundance for property, for, excuse me, will substitute abundance for poverty, wisdom for ignorance, harmony for discord, and freedom for tyranny. And certainly, there can be no greater blessing than these from a material and social standpoint. 44. Now, make the application. Select a room where you can be alone and undisturbed. Sit erect, comfortably, but do not lounge. Let your thoughts roam where they will, but be perfectly still for 15 minutes to half an hour. Continue this for 3 or 4 days or for a week until you secure full control of your physical being. 45. Many will find this extremely difficult. Others will conquer with ease. But it is absolutely essential to secure complete control of the body before you are ready to progress. Next week, you will receive instructions for the next step. In the meantime, you must have mastered this one. Beautiful. So that's Haneel's introduction. That's how he came at it. And I wanted to read the next guy too, but I want to put Haneel away for now. Hmm? And deLaurence, his thing is, like I said, a little bit more, what you might call it, a little bit more loose. You see how tight Haneel is. He's very instructive. He's telling you exactly this, exactly that. That's his style. That's the style of Haneel to do that. He's very I call it Germanesque. And then there's the other guy, deLaurence. He's more like a French type. He's a little loosey, laissez-faire, that type of thing. And I'll read more on him soon. Right now, I just want to know where I'm at. Oh, good. 45 minutes in. I appreciate you taking a break, listen to this information. It's all good. It can only lead to your betterment. So then, so then, this is the activity. Uh, this is the activity of the mind and the activity of life, really, because we have been given, as I say, the idea that life is happening to us. But, life is happening. The actuality is life is happening for us. We are creating this. And we've been taught and, indoctrinated into thinking that this is creating us. Things happen to us. We have problems. We have happiness. We have good things happen. We have bad things happen. A young brother once told me, and I'll say it again. He said there's two different kinds of mind, not people. Two different kinds of mind. One mind is optimistic. The other mind is pessimistic. So that even if the same occurrence, the same happenstance, the same experience is by two different people, two different thoughts, two different minds, the same occurrence will affect them differently. The optimistic mind will see the occurrence as optimistic, and the pessimistic mind will see the occurrence as pessimistic. People say, "Oh, why is it always happening to me?" That's a pessimistic mind. We know pessimism because we're mostly surrounded by pessimism, so that most people are miserable. But that's a state of mind. It's not a state of condition. The condition could be whatever it is, but the state of mind determines how it is appreciated. So if you're in an op- opti- optimistic state of mind, something can happen. Whatever happens, you're going to see it as through an optimistic lens. If you're in a pessimistic state of mind, whatever happens, you're going to see it in a, you know, a pessimistic point of view, a pessimistic occurrence. And that's what we're dealing with right now, is that we have to, we, we, we all must look at the world as though it's a beautiful place. We didn't come here for misery. We came here for enjoyment. A lot of people are told that we're here for misery. Uh, we're not perfect. Life is a hell, and then you die, or some kind of attitude like that. And that's not really what's happening. That's only in the mind of people. If they can convince you that you are poor, then guess what? You are poor. If you can be convinced that you are poor, then you are poor. So I'm just saying, if you can be convinced that you are rich, then you are rich. You could have the same $3 or $1 million. But if you're convinced you're poor, even though you have $1 million, you're going to be poor because you are convinced that you are, right? So then I'm suggesting that we all look at life from an optimistic point of view. The song say, always look on the bright side of life. Always. When things look bad, look on the bright side. When life hands you a lemon, make lemonade. You know. Life is good. Don't let them convince you that life is not good by circumstances, all this talk about you versus that. We are too busy comparing ourselves with the next person, the next group of people, the next whatever. Oh, they doing this and I'm not doing this, or they doing this and we not doing that. All that's pessimism. We have to get into where we outside of pessimism and get into the what they call it, optimism, and look for life in the optimism, because life is beautiful. Every day is a miracle, and every moment of life is a blessing. Don't let no one take that from you. That's how you live long. Look, I don't know how old you are. You might not either. But at my age, that's what I use. I have relatives that are over 100 years old, and every day I talk to them. Every time I talk to them, they are optimistic, and they are already over 100. If you're 30 years old and you're pessimistic and everything is bad and you're feeling bad, baby, it's a state of mind. Change your mind will change your circumstances. It's automatic. You try to change your circumstances so that you'll feel better. That's not, you could try that and see how well it works, but that's not sufficient. You change your mind, you change your circumstances. That might last a few minutes, that little joy that you are able to get out of that. But when you change your mind, you can live like that forever, because your mind determines whether a thing is good or bad. The way you look at it, your determination, your setup, your constitution. Once you say, hey, man, I'm perfect, born perfect, live perfect, born perfect, created perfect by a perfect creator, there's no such thing as poverty. Not the creator is abundant, creation is abundant. There's more than anybody needs, everybody needs, excuse me, there's more than everybody needs right around the corner. It's not even difficult to find, but we have to loosen up enough to see what it is. I'm talking to people about one thing, let's say it's some herb or plant, but they can't see it because the television is telling them about another one. And they think they got to have whatever the television is telling them. You don't have to have that. There's so many ways to skin a cat is pathetic. You don't have, I mean, right now I'm looking to get a helicopter. People talk about they can't travel. I'd be traveling, but you can't be scared of life. You have to enjoy life and figure out what you really like. Sit back a few minutes, see what you like, not what they telling you to like. Some people say, "Well, I like that Escalade," because you're working behind. You're working from behind, meaning that something occurs and then you deal with it. So the effect, you're affecting the effect instead of being the cause. You can be the cause. As a matter of fact, you are the cause. If you're feeling bad, you the cause. If you in a bad situation, guess what? You the cause. You can blame other people all you want. You can say, oh, wait, they did this and they did that, if that suits your purpose of not getting anything done. But if you want to get something done, you got to realize that you are the one, not someone else is controlling your life. You allow someone else to control your life. No one can control your life unless you allow them to control your life. It's a done deal. You don't have to do that. You have choice. You have the freedom of choice. I say speak truth all the time. Why? Because it satisfies the soul. However, a lot of people don't feel free enough to speak the truth. I can't do that. I talk to preachers. I talk to deacons. I talk to all kind of people, atheists and everything. And when I make the simple suggestion that the freedom of life is in speaking the truth, oh, they got all kind of objections. Even the preachers. Oh, we can't do that. Not who can do that? Nobody can. Well, it's your truth, my truth. Them truth, didn't do truth. They try to obfuscate the whole thing and throw the whole thing out. I talk to many people of many walks of life, and I hear every now and then somebody will say, that makes sense. Okay. But I hear more people say, I thought it was odd. Heavily religious people, everybody be like throwing that truth thing back. They be, oh, truth? Oh, no, we can't do that. Oh, hell, no, I can't. I'm not free enough to speak the truth. I speak the truth. This and that gonna happen. This and that gonna happen. And the truth is omni. I mean, I don't get it. Every religion, every thought, even if you're talking science without religion, you got to have the truth. Without the truth, you didn't fail the whole game. I don't understand what you can accomplish without the truth. Yet people will argue with me about speaking the truth. The truth is just a matter of speaking the truth. What are we doing here? You know what I mean? Hold on. What exactly are we doing here? You know? So we got the truth, and people send it back. The truth will free you. They even got sayings, the truth will set you free. And yet people avoid the truth. Are they okay with being slaves? I find a lot of people seem to be just so comfortable with being slaves, with being without be, I say with being slaves. That's just not really. Yeah, it is. But they are comfortable not being free. A lot of people are comfortable not being free. I'm comfortable when I'm free. I'm not. I haven't yet learned how to be comfortable not being free. Some people are not comfortable in clean environments, or it's too clean. If it's too tidy and clean, they get nervous. That's because it's a lot of dirt in them. The cleanest person is the person that tells the truth, speaks the truth. Excuse me. I said tell the truth because you don't have to talk all the time. You can shut up. So, but if you're gonna speak truth, especially to yourself. Tell yourself the truth. In one of them books, deLaurence says that right away. He said, "Man, if learn to speak the truth." I'll get to that, but I'm tired of reading that. I read 45 sentences just now out of Haneel's book, which was good because Haneel gives he's stoic and he gives a good, what do you call it, 1, 2, 3 type of punch, like Mike Tyson versus Ali was more flamboyant, that kind of thing. That's deLaurence. And Mike Tyson is right in there hitting you hard each time. That's Haneel. So the difference between those two books, they're both very good books because they both tell you and give you lessons and exercises and goals and stuff like that about how to change a flip, a revolt. It's a revolution because right now we think we are reacting to what happens. The revolution is to cause what happens to react to us. This is true revolution. I don't know what you heard, and you can't, I don't know what people telling you and stuff, but this is true revolution. This is true freedom. Not the true freedom is this: things respond to you. You are causation. We are causation and not affected. We are not the affected. We are not being affected. No one is treating us or causing us. We are causing our own situation. And this is what's up. So there you go. Yeah. So anybody who wants to understand themselves or understand life or get a better feeling about life should understand these few things that we've just spoken about. Mostly that we cause life and not respond to life so much. I tell you what, when something happens that affects you in any kind of way, don't respond at all. Let that go. Just let it go, because what you're doing is when you respond, you keep in the habit of occurrence response. So you got to get off that habit of occurrence response, because you're going back and forth with it. What you do is when something occurs, ignore it, let it go. And then you're going to get into the back and forth with it. It has something, now you're moving. If you deal with it and respond to it, it's moving you. But if you don't respond to it and you keep yourself like I'm suggesting, then it responds to you. It must respond to you. You are the active thing. You are the thing that causes. You are the what they call it, the dynamic. We are the dynamics. We make things happen. Yeah. Television, radios, motor lawn, clothes, whatever, eyeglasses. We are the dynamic. We cause things to happen. If you don't allow things to happen to you. It's another thing too. An optimistic person says a thing happens for them. A pessimistic person says things happen to them. Oh, he did that to me. He did that to me, and this and that and that. You know, that's the state of mind of pessimism, misery. It breeds misery. So what we're suggesting is people be happy. And the best way to be happy is to speak the truth all the time, because there's nothing to be mad about. I hear people say, oh, he's into a lot of self-hate. Really what he's doing is he hates himself because he had to lie. He compromised his integrity. When people compromise their integrity, they're not going to feel real good about themselves. They go into a system of depression. Right away, the recommendation is to speak truth. Truth cures all kind of stuff, all kind of depression, all kind of mental illness. Truth will actually cure a belly ache and a headache. A lot of times our body don't respond well to all that lying. And who can? The body is a dynamic thing as well as the mind. As we are fully dynamic. And when we are not on our true circle, we're not really in the game of truth, we're not going to feel good. We're not going to do good. It just ain't going to happen. You could try that and say, well, they lie to us, and so we should lie. I have never seen where in conflict or in battle or in anything, where people will, uh, when you behave like your enemy, you have just become your enemy. They say, oh, we got to behave like these people, and those people are your enemy. When you behave like your enemy, you have just become your enemy. I don't know how people can't understand that immediately. I see 40 and 50-year-old people, 80, 90, talking about we got to do like these people and those people. How the hell are we going to do like them? We do like them. We are them. We have just become our own enemy. I heard some guys say our people, everybody comes into our neighborhoods or wherever we are on the earth. They sell us stuff. They take our stuff, whatever they do. You know what I mean? They because we ain't making nothing. And that's my big thing. Make something. Yeah, we have to make something. You can't just keep depending on people to get things from. They're tired of you. Make something yourself. When we make something, then we don't have to get something from nobody else. This is part of our dynamic will that I'm talking about. You have to make something. You can't just be like, I want. What the heck is that? You're not making nothing. You have to put something in the world to get something out of the world. Does that make sense at all? I don't know. I mean, it makes sense to me, but you have to put something in the world to get something out of the world. Make something. Always. And our ancestors, I mean, they call them our ancestors, you know, the people who preceded us so long ago, we cannot even remember their names. The people who have preceded us so far down that we can't even remember their names. Those are the ancestors. My mom died last year. She ain't no ancestor. When people go so long and they live so long ago that we have forgotten their names, those are the ancestors. Just letting you know. That's why we refer to them as the ancestors. Otherwise, I refer to her as my mother. You know, let's be real. Most people were born. I heard a little boy say that yesterday. Most people that of our ilk, our people were born and raised and indoctrinated into Christianity or one of them Abrahamic religions. Some people even think they are Jews. That's how indoctrinated they are into the Abrahamic religions, that they're willing to become their own enemy. So that's part of that thing about, oh, we should do like these people, do like those people. We should do like them people there. They come in our neighborhoods and they do us like this and they do us like that. We ought to do like them. And what we going to do, go in our neighborhoods and do like this and that? Come on, what are we doing? So this is what's up. There's 5 or 6 things that everyone needs, wants, or does. One of those is make something. You can't make money unless you print it in your yard. So if you say you're making money, no, you're not. Quit lying. That's what I mean. We have to think in terms of truth in order to manifest truth. You know, without truth, it's very difficult to manifest anything without truth. I don't know exactly how anyone can pull it off, because truth is the thing itself. The thing itself is truth. You got a piece of wood and you say, well, it's iron, and it's not. So it's not going to function like iron, and therefore you're not going to get stuff done like iron. See how the truth works? It's just all the time. Man, come on, this is not difficult. Okay, well, I'm out in the yard right now. This is the first time I think I've been in the yard, maybe the second time. But I like being out here in the yard and nature. I got my feet on the ground, so I'm grounded from any electrical currents and all that. What we're looking to do, and what I'm looking to do, is get people to recognize the value of speaking the truth. As far as freeing, as far as acquiring, as far as doing, truth is imperative. And I'm attempting to encourage everyone all the time to speak the truth. If you can, speak the truth. Feel free to speak the truth. Make the choice to speak the truth. This will elevate your whole life, elevate your spirit, elevate your mentality, elevate your bodily functions from the truth. Because every lie hides inside the body. That's why people have different cancers and all that. All that's lies just in their body. Because the lie ain't got nowhere to go, it ain't real. So it got to stay inside your body. And then as it stays inside your body and you keep telling that same lie or other lies, it's eating you up in the form of dis-ease. The most comfortable person in the world is the one who speaks truth. When you stop speaking truth, you're damaging your body. You're damaging your mind. You're damaging your existence, really. Your whole existence gets damaged because you're not in the real world. Truth is the real world. Truth is the real world. Anything else is not in the real world. So when you don't speak truth, yeah, you're not in the real world. where you going, where you living. And when you say that stuff and it's not truth, the world cannot absorb it. Nature only deals in truth. Nature can't absorb lies. It don't know what to do with a lie. Nature only understands truth. What is truth. And nature understands truth. But when you lie, and nature, your body is natural. It's part of nature. Your body is part. You can't say I'm not part of nature, so that don't. Your body is nature. It's created by nature and it's natural. And when you're not speaking the truth, whatever you speak that's not the truth, it has nowhere to go in nature. So it stays in the body. And when it stays in the body, it destroys the body from within. It destroys the organs, the cells. The cells in your body be like, what the heck's going on? What this nigga talking about? I'm just saying. So we have to understand that. I mean, have to understand. I don't know if you do, but I have to understand that nature don't accept a lie. There's no lie in nature. Be in nature for a few minutes, you can't find a lie. It don't exist. Nature doesn't lie. And if you lie and be in nature, which is the entire universe, is natural, you're in nature. That lie has no place to go. It has no power. And every time you lie, you're putting a whole. We got so much power. Each body got power. We are electrically charged and all that. So we got power. I hear people say, I ain't got no power. Well, you should be dead if you have no power. You should be dead if you have no power. That's like when you unplug the radio. It's dead. Why? Because ain't no power going. It ain't got no power. We don't need to be plugged into the wall. The power is within us. And once we realize the power is within us, then we realize it's impossible not to have power. I ain't got no power. I hear people say that I ain't got no power. See, that itself is a lie and makes a great hole in the body. And through all them lies, creating all them holes in the body, all our power just falls out of them holes and falls on the ground and stuff. And then when different cultures of people see all our power on the ground and falling off and they come and get it and pick it up, they be like, damn, these niggas don't want this power. They just throwing it all around. And then when they come and get our power and pick it up and stuff, we be like, oh, y'all this, and y'all, they simply picking up our power off the ground we are throwing out. We are destroying ourselves from within. From without is just a manifestation of what's going on within. We have allowed ourselves to become liars. We have allowed our reputation to be that of liars. We can change all that today by simply speaking truth from now on, a commitment that our ancestors made to live in the nature and live in the world of truth. That's the commitment our ancestors made. That's why we were able to be happy all the time. That's why we live long and have beautiful bodies and all that stuff. We're wearing them out now with all these lies, though. People in the cities and stuff usually lie the most. People in churches lie all the time. That's almost all they do is lie. I'm so surprised when I find a person that say they in a church or some kind of religion like that who don't lie. It's almost impossible to find. Because Abraham, it's a lie. The whole thing is a lie from the beginning. Those are not your people, and you're trying to be them people. That's a lie. It's a done deal. You can't handle it. I don't know what to tell you. But that, you can see it. A baby can see it. Anybody can see the truth. And everybody knows the truth. Some guys say, well, how do you know the truth? Truth is subjective. And all that kind of garbage like that he was saying, huh? And I'm saying to him, I say, I tell you what, you go to a 3-year-old baby, they know the truth. Learn from them. A 2 and 3-year-old baby, they know truth. How do they know truth? They know your truth, my truth. They know that too. They know there's only truth. Hmm. 2 and 3 year old babies know how to breathe. They breathe through their mouth down into their belly. Grown people, though, they breathe through their mouth to their lungs. Be doing like that. What the hell? Ain't no muscles for that. Do you know? Do you realize ain't no muscles for that? The body is not structured for that kind of breathing. There's no the lung is not a muscle. What's this? This is all mental crack, crock pot that we've been taught. You breathe through your lungs. You breathe through your lungs. The air does go through the lungs, but it's headed to the belly. Watch a 3-year-old. Watch an infant 9 months old sleep and watch how they breathe, especially when they sleep. Because once they're awake, they start picking up the surroundings. But when they're asleep, they're purely natural. Watch them. Their belly is busy rising and falling because that's where the muscles are for that activity. They call them the abdominal muscles. Those are the breathing muscles. Those are the muscles for breathing. See, we've been taught a lot of stuff by people who don't know anything, but they talk authoritatively, like a professor or a doctor or a doggone a teacher, and oh, this and that, and this and that, and this and that, and this and that, and they don't even know. They're just saying this and that. I guarantee you, they don't know nothing. And put to the case, they're not even happy. Why are you learning life from someone that ain't happy? Don't make sense. You want to learn how to be miserable like them? Take their course. I don't care what the course is in, electronics, science, it could be language, arts, ping pong. Take the course from the miserable person. Because you're taking a course in misery. You take a course from a happy person, you're taking a course in happiness. I don't care what they teach in agriculture, foot massage, and they're happy. You're taking a course in happiness. It's that simple. I tell people often that I have had 3 or 4, I've had 5 now. I've had 5 mentors, 5 people. What do you call them, mentors? Mentorship. I've been an apprentice. I don't know how you word that up in this thing, but I learned from guys directly, working with them, getting paid. Always listen, when you can, always get paid for learning. You go on wherever you go and you get paid for learning. Learn, but get paid for learning. Learning, yeah, we should get paid for learning. We should just come on. I mean, on the job training, that's the bomb right there. On the job training. So you learn how to do as many things as you possibly can. Everything. Don't shift nothing. Oh, that don't mean nothing. They put it in front of you for a reason. You put it in front of you for a reason. And you don't even know the reason because check this out. I had encountered a circumstance, and for some reason, I knew to take the opportunity. Yes, I took the opportunity of that circumstance. At that time, it did not return any rewards physically. 5 years later, it did. I was ready. 5 years later, what I learned then became evident that I needed it. So I know a lot of times, well, I don't need that. I'm doing this. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. But it's put in front of you. Learn it now because in 5 or 10 years, you're setting yourself up for that. 5 or 10 years that life is putting stuff in front of you now so that you can be prepared for what life has for you 5 and 10 years from now. Be optimistic, not pessimistic. you know Try not to get angry so much. About what? Life is beautiful. Relax, enjoy it. every moment, every day. Enjoy life. Make that a conscious effort. Whatever you're doing, walking up the street, make it a conscious effort to enjoy it. Yeah, until you're used to that. Look, the body and the mind loves habits. The body wants habits. You can give your body a habit, the body is good. You don't have to think about the body for a while. It's doing the habit. It don't mind. The mind is the same way. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. See there? Habit. The mind loves that, right? And look, even the body. People drive home and be like, "Damn, I'm home already." Why? Because the mind, it's a habit. People be doing work, jugga 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 jugga, and just talking and looking around and thinking about every other thing. But their body is doing the work because the body likes habits. You didn't made it a habit. Like right now, I have a habit of when I wake up in the morning, I do certain things, and I've made that a habit. And so when I don't do it, I don't, my body and stuff be like, whoa, what's happening? We're not in sync. We got to get this habit thing on until I change the habit. Now, changing habits is easy, but let's deal with first off, creating habits. You want to be responsible and what's that other thing? Intentional about creating your habits. You want habits. The body wants habits. The mind wants habits. The mind will become habituated to thinking positively. You just have to give it that habit. Okay, my electricity is running low. Uh, I gotta go. I didn't bring the wire to plug it in. I'm gonna have to do that. I can go get the wire. Hold on a minute. I'll go get the wire and plug it in. Save the thing. Hold on. Oh. Just a second. I'm gonna leave some music on because it's going to take me about 3 or 4 minutes to get this thing going with the electricity. I've been on an hour, but they don't really matter how long. Uh, put on a little music for a few moments. Yeah, this is my morning music. I call it meditation. It's just enough. I try to get no vocals because I don't need nobody else's thought, and I only use mostly jazz, and it's upbeat. So it's not like slow bringing me down. It's more like up. You get me? I'll be just back. I want to get into this. Okay, we back. Got him plugged in. Oh yeah. Oh, oh, that's so beautiful. Let's see. Okay, I get you. So I do want to get back to the idea of the within affecting the without instead of the without affecting the within. And all these beautiful sounds and stuff in the yard. I don't know if you can hear the birds and whatever, but they come around. They kind of like the music, especially when I play jazz. The mockingbirds love trumpets because I play Lee Morgan and Miles Davis, man, and they be right around here singing. It's beautiful to watch or to experience, you know. I just thought I'd let you know that a lot of stuff is a matter of your attitude. It's not really something you have to. Let me see what's going on. I got a bunch of sun here. I'm getting a bunch of sun. Hold on, I'm gonna back up a bit into the shade. And I suggested it before. I'll do it again. I suggest that people every now and then for a few seconds, you know, if your body can take it, stand on your head, some kind of way to reverse the flow of gravity to your body and reverse that flow of gravity in the body. Stand like I do. I stand on my head. I don't know if I'm recommending that people stand on their head. I'm not saying that, but I am saying that you reverse the gravity of the body, especially if you're feeling ill or some stuff like that. Reverse the gravity of your body uh, for a few seconds every day. Like 30 seconds is enough to to start changing things. Don't overdo it. 20 minutes, 5 minutes. I don't do all that. I do 2 minutes. That's the longest I do. That's just me. I've been doing it many years. It reversed the gravity, like with a sand. What they call that? The hourglass. Yeah. So you get the idea. You just turn the hourglass over, let the sand run back down the other way for a few minutes, and then you get back up and do your day. But if you're always in this the hourglass is always in that position, uh-huh, you see, ain't nothing moving. So it's kind of simple, and a lot of people say, "Oh, well, this and that." I use what's called what's called, yeah, actually, it's actually called that. It's called Oriental thought. People don't understand that that's what Haneel them is teaching. They learn that concept that they're having their books called the Master Key and the Master Key System. They admit, well, deLaurence admits for sure that he got that from India, from studying in India in the early 1900s, 18 something like that, 19 something like that. A lot of information came across European people. Sigmund Freud, Carl Jung, all this technology and all that stuff. The information came across. They had a bunch of old texts that they were able to look into and start attempting to decipher. And that's what they found out. Uh, well, even Freud called Jung because he had a book from Egypt, I think he said, that he wanted Carl Jung to help him to understand it when he came up with all them theories and stuff he came up with. It's recorded. I read it in an open book. So it's not like, where did you find this and all that? I don't do all that. I'll tell you what I know and tell you where to look. I mean, what to look for. And you have to look for it too, because even when I look for searching stuff for stuff, I'm constantly offered things I'm not looking for. Like when I was looking for deLaurences PDF, I got it downloaded, but I thought I'd find it on the Google. So when I speak to people about it and tell them, they'll be able to do whatever I'm telling you. It actually functions as a Google thing. And so I know what I'm looking for sure, and I know they have it for sure. I've downloaded 2 copies of it already in PDF form. But when I went to ask Google for it, they was showing me all kind of stuff I didn't even ask them for. So I'm telling you now, even though I'm telling you what to look for, they're going to try to confuse you. That's why a lot of people don't recognize, but we need tutors. You can't just send a child or a student or a searcher to the I hunt. I don't research. I hunt. That's my nature. By nature, I hunt. So, you know, people say, "Oh, you do research." I never do research. Research is just looking for stuff somebody already did, and then when you read their paperwork, because they call that research. When you read their paperwork, guess what? That's their opinion on what they saw. What if they were colorblind? You don't know that, do you? What if they were colorblind and they're trying to tell you something about something and about something, and then you find out they colorblind? They see what I mean? You can't. That's why you need a tutor. So a tutor will say, "Wait a minute, is this man colorblind?" See, a tutor done been through some of the traps. A, a tutor, a mentor, yeah, a tutor. I don't know, but somebody to help you through a guide. A guide is a better word than tutor and mentor to me. Guide is a better word. I like to use stuff from our own concepts of reality. And these things about a tutor and this and that. Ah, but a guide, yeah, that's what a guru is, a guide. A guru ain't no preacher, priest, or somebody to worship. A guru is a guide. That's all they did. They be making all these different names up, and I had to explain to people who were talking about voting and stuff. They talking about, we need some new leaders. And I say, if you're voting, you don't vote for leaders. You vote for representatives. Goodness. But in their mind, they're voting for leaders. You vote for, and when you vote for representatives, not leaders. You vote for people who are going to represent the charge of the people. The desires and wants and all that of the people, what the people sending them there to do. Like you get everybody together and they say, well, we're going to send Charles over to represent us. And then Charles go over there and represent you. He ain't no leader. He represent, and you better send somebody with him to make sure he don't sell you out. That's why the representative always have an assistant. The assistant is assisting, yeah, but he watching the doggone representative, making sure he don't get caught up in the garbage when he dealing with all these different people and all these different idealism and all these different thoughts. And the next thing you know, they are thinking into, I do Occidental versus Oriental, so you can look that up in pretty much in any Google search to give you the information on Occidental versus Oriental. However, they keep telling you that Oriental means uh, through common knowledge, Asian, but we're not Asian. We're the original Orientals. The Asians became Oriental. That's why they went back to becoming Asians, because we're the original Orientals. Anyway, so now when an Oriental goes into an Occidental environment, that Occidental environment is like a land creature going into water. It's that much of a difference. You have to learn to breathe different, how to walk different, how to stand different. Everything is different when it's all different at that point. And so, yeah, you might fall into the water or something like that. You need the assistant there to help you pull you out of that water, because they'll sink you in. I was talking to some people one day, and one young lady there, man, she understood every word I said. Sometimes she would say the words before I said them. She was really on. To me, that's so a good feeling to be around somebody who understands life. They're not afraid of it. They understand it. And they understand to be happy in it with life. That's so beautiful to experience being with someone who understands. For me, I mean, it's beautiful for me to experience being around someone who understands how beautiful life is, how wonderful it is, how easy, absolutely easy it is. I have a saying, I'll repeat it, I might have to read it, but it goes sort of like this: the the fastest and easiest way to get anything you want and to get everything you want. Now this is fast and quick. You got to watch, or you miss the whole thing. The fastest and quickest way, and the easiest way, and most efficient way to get whatever you want is simply to want whatever you got. It's that simple. Nah, you got everything you want. Just that you got this from the inside, baby. You're trying to change it from the outside. Well, when I get this, I'll be happy. But when I get that, I'll be happy. You have to be happy in order to get this. Because when you do get that, guess what? It'll last for 10 seconds. That so-called happiness. That's a fulfillment of a wish. That's not happiness. That's the expression of a fulfillment of a wish. Happiness is constant. Happiness is a decision. Happiness is not a condition or an experience. Yeah, happiness is a permanent state of mind. It's a decision. I've decided to be happy. I'm not going to talk too long because you see I keep changing subject, because to me, one thing either be said or not said. I don't argue. I just say what I have to say. And then if people want to argue, it'll be like I say, speak truth, and they will blah, blah, blah. I'll be like, okay. Some people argue for their enslavement and they fight for their enslavement, and others argue and fight for their freedom. You decide which one you want to argue and fight for. One love.